Hello, everyone, and welcome to the EDM Films show. Been calling it a podcast, but we're split equally between SoundCloud and YouTube, so it's just a show that happens to also have a podcast. And I'm your host, Joey Edwards. And this week, our lovely co-host, Brittany, is unavailable, so we have a complete sausage fest. And I'm going to let these guys introduce themselves. To my right, I've got
Mike Hughes, writer and director of Rooftop Summer.
Zack Felton, friend of Mike Hughes.
That's right. And all collaborators in EDM Films. So, we're just going to jump right in here. I'm going to go ahead and ask you, Mike, to give us a little bit of background on Rooftop Summer. We've talked about it in the past episodes, okay? So everyone's gotten their ear full of Rooftop Summer, but I want to hear it straight from the writer's mouth. Can you tell us a little bit about what inspired it?
A little bit of what inspired it was summer romances. I'm a big fan. I know a lot of people are big fans of summer romances. They're apparently a thing.
Used to be a thing. I'm in my 40s now, and I've been married almost 10 years. Second time I've given props to my wife on the show, so yay, my wife, Kim. So summer romances. And when was the last time you had a summer romance?
Hopefully this summer. It's been a while, so we're working on that department.
Excellent.
We all live in a fantasy world from time to time.
We do.
Right. One thing that is real this summer is the heat. We're in Texas, and the heat kicked in. Today it was high 90s, and the heat index had it up into the triple digits. Okay, let's not leave Zack out down there on the other end. Zack, why don't you go ahead and tell us a little bit about your background. Zack's our musical guy, pretty much, but that's not a really impressive title. So I want to let him explain why we call him the musical guy, why we lean on him for that, and then we'll come back to hot summer romances. So, Zack, a little bit about you and your music background.
Well, I got my degree in music education, and I got to the point where I spent 2 weeks in student teaching in Colleyville Heritage High School, and I realized the band directors were working about 70 hours a week and not getting paid a whole lot, and they were more child psychologists than band directors much of the time. So I decided to chase my wacky dream of being in a band, and some of it was good and some of it wasn't, and most of it was awesome. But I feel like my home is more composing music according to situations around everybody's life. So,
So you're more of a composer and not a conductor.
Well, I like to be a teacher. I like to be a teacher, and definitely not as much of a conductor. I'm more of a free-flowing, free-thinking,
right,
idealist.
That's something that we all have in common, is we're very free-flowing and free-thinking to some degree. Our free-thinking may go to different heights amongst our different focuses and intellects and backgrounds. Okay, so I see you taking notes there feverishly, Mike. Can we just go ahead and jump back into summer romance, Rooftop Summer? What do you think about the process so far and how it's coming together?
I think it's coming together nicely.
Kiss it. I need you to be real close. There you go.
Speaking of romance. So far, everything's been coming together nicely. The shoot went a lot smoother than expected. No real hiccups that couldn't be overcome.
And why is that? Why do you think that is? Why did it go better than expected? Tell me what your expectations were.
I don't really know what they were. I just went into it loosey-goosey, just shooting from the hip, with no real expectations. I had a loose plan and no hard, stringent rules to go by. Just we shot with what was there, with no props that we needed.
What do you call that? What was that style of filming? We went over that in the pre-production meeting.
Oh, the Michaelist Manifesto.
Nihilism.
Nihilism,
right?
It Yeah, sort of. It kind of harkens back to the Dog Me 95 manifesto of Lars von Trier and some of those guys back in the mid to late 90s that shot handheld cameras with no props, no murders or no violence of any kind.
Right, and whatever lighting was there, natural lighting.
Right,
and
yeah, natural lighting. You know, so I think the fact that we shot with a skeleton crew, just bare minimum, made it a lot easier for everyone.
You know, for the foreseeable future, I mean, we could have a half dozen more films where we're going to shoot with a skeleton crew, and that is because, as I've said before, we've surrounded ourselves with very creative people and surrounded ourselves with people that we trust. And so the cool thing is, Mike just mentioned that the shoot went well, better than expected, because we've learned a lot over the last several years, and so we've kind of got our system down a little bit better, and that's where you guys are all going to go ahead and, you know, all of our skills are going to improve, like your PA and your, you know, assistant camera and things like that. Stuff like that is just going to continue to develop when we get on set, and you know, I think that's one reason why it's gone so well, and also the planning. We gave you major props and major kudos on all of your character analysis and all of your shot lists and just all of the developmental tools that you gave us to prepare with. How did you come up with all of that? I mean, what did you do? Tell us a little bit about a day or a night in Mike's planning for a day of shooting.
I just wanted things to go smoothly. I wanted it to go smooth. I didn't want to have any problems, and I just tried to foresee anything that may be a bump in the road. And so I tried to hand out the tools to all the actors and to you as co-director with me, and make sure that we were all on the same page on the day of shooting, so that we all, when we did hit a bump in the road, we all knew how to proceed.
Right.
And how to get past.
I think the only bump that we had, honestly, was on day one. We had a hard time getting started, but once we popped the top on that baby, or whatever cliche you want to insert there, we were off and rolling. So that takes me to the editing of this thing. We're about 75% of the way through, and please don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and SoundCloud, and Instagram, where we update consistently on Facebook, and the latest update pretty much said that we're 75%, or there was my blog post from the other day, pretty much said that we are 75% there, about 6 more hours until we can get the live score version ready, and that's when we're really going to lean heavy on Zack. What is y'all's plan? Why don't y'all go ahead and fill us in on what the plan is for the first live score event?
First live score event is to find a venue, which is in the works. I'm shopping around some places, waiting to hear back from some people. And
it could be the banquet room in any Tex-Mex restaurant or barbecue joint. We don't really care. Any place that can hold 50 people, and we can set up our own screen and sound system, we can do it. But I know what you're going for. But if you're out there and you're a restaurant owner, or if you're a club owner, bar owner, or if you're just a friend or follower or neighbor or whatever, and you're like, hey, you could use my place, then hit us up. Anyway.
Yeah, essentially what it's going to be is a band that's going to have their show. They'll play a short set of their songs, and then the climax or the finale is going to be the Rooftop Summer event, where it's essentially going to be a live scoring version of Rooftop Summer. So roughly a 20-minute jam session of the band scoring this short film live, which, if you haven't ever attended an event like that, is really pretty cool.
Have you?
I have.
You have? Okay, I'm looking forward to it. One reason I'm looking forward to it is, first of all, to witness it, to put it on, and to welcome all of our film friends and family. But at one point, I think I'm probably going to actually perform. I play a little bit of bass, a little bit of guitar. And that brings us to you, Zach. What you said in a pre-show that you were going to play bass. What other plans? What other ideas do you have as far as putting together the EDM band, so to speak? If we don't start off with maybe, I don't know, some other band that's out, in the Dallas-Fort Worth area.
I don't know. That's kind of a tricky question. One of the things to think about is, how do you get a band to have the same idea about the direction of the movie to begin with. So it's awesome having so many people that are already currently working with the group involved in music enough to where their input will make more sense rather than just grabbing random, people, musicians together and say,
Right.
here's a band. So that will be, it'll be cool. It'll be very difficult, to get everybody, sort of lined up.
Well, we're not
But,
we're not leaning solely on all of us taking up a role. I just think that would be fun for us to take a shot at it.
Oh,
because
yeah.
Mike plays a little bit of guitar. You've taught him kind of mentoring him on his musician skills.
I'm pretty much giving him like clues and tell him to have at it.
Right.
That's the extent of my teaching for guitar. My fingers don't work right on the neck.
Right. One production note is I think you have Landry's karaoke microphone from her little cheap karaoke set. So you'll have to talk a little bit louder. I'm sorry.
Okay.
There you go. Now I'll put a little pink dot on this one so we'll know next time that it's the weakest mic in the group. You are the weakest mic.
Oh, man.
You're not the weakest mic. You're the weakest mic.
Dang it. I'm going to have to work out harder.
All right, so we've been giving you snippets to preview so you can come up with some, because we're going to have two versions. We're going to have a standalone short film version that's going to live on the web, that's going to have, the fully produced sound bed and some dialogue and sound effects and things like that, soundtracks. So,
And Zack's doing the music for that, and that's going to be just absolutely marvelous. He was playing me some tracks earlier as far as the sound goes and the ideas that he's got, and they're great. And we talked a little more in detail about the direction of the music and the sound, and a little more about the atmosphere of the film. And he's excited to go home and work on it. I'm excited to hear what he comes up with. So the standalone version is going to be phenomenal. And then the live score events are going to be each their own.
Yeah. I want to make sure that we get those on video, and like we're going to have to produce
course.
a little bit of camera work and a little bit of like this sound recorder here to make sure we can archive that, because if we do 3 or 4 of these, or even more, but let's just say we do 3, they're all going to be really unique, and people probably will get tired of looking at the visual after seeing it a couple times, but
Right.
I think that's what's going to keep it interesting is the audio
I want
portion.
people to be like, oh, what'd you do this weekend? I saw Rooftop Summer. Oh, well, who scored it?
Yeah.
I want it to be kind of that kind of event.
Right.
And one thing that I sort of enjoy doing as far as like writing music is depicting the character of a character, like Brittany's character. How do I make her character stand out more with the music that I write for them?
Evil, seductive.
So, yeah.
Right. You've got this
And
whole
so,
Temptress.
but you can have evil and seductive in a situation. For instance, when Brittany and Matt were on the golf course and they were kind of sweet, but there's still that sort of evil, seductive part about her,
Right.
even though she's in a sweet situation.
Right.
And figuring out how to make the music sound like, hey, we're going golfing.
Like
He's right
appropriate,
up on
yeah.
me,
Right,
but
right.
I'm
It's all
still kind of
lollipops.
I love the sex or whatever,
Right.
I mean,
It's all lollipops
Sorry,
and
yeah.
rainbows and sunlight.
right.
But, and I use the term evil loosely. That's probably a little too harsh, but
but as far as
Yeah,
the
remember,
juxtaposition between
It's
situations,
a love poem to summer romances.
yeah, that's where I wanted you to go earlier, and I think I got distracted. I may have driven us into the ditch there.
Stop
I
stepping
apologize.
on my toes,
Yeah.
man.
So okay,
Look at
so
those two are playing footsie. I'm
Yeah.
not playing footsie with them.
so just go ahead and go back to that. Just flow with it. We've got a little bit of time left. Just you said it's like an homage to summer romance, but yeah, I like when you talk about it's a love poem.
Yeah,
multi
it's just,
levels.
I think everyone listening, if you haven't had a summer fling, summer romance, they're absolutely wonderful. They'll make some of the greatest memories you've ever had. And for those that have had a summer romance, probably some of the better memories that you have had.
So we're talking anywhere from 13 to 93. If you have or haven't had your summer romance, go get one. Pick one up. Pick one as seen on TV.
Right.
Just don't, be.
It all leads to disappointment.
Just go down to Walgreens.
and emptiness.
If you're married, have a summer fling with your spouse.
Yes, that's the
Disclaimer.
best idea.
Yeah.
Exactly. There are creative ways to have summer flings if you are married or have a girlfriend or significant other.
Yeah, like a staycation. When you're married, it's sort of like your summer fling with your spouse. It'd be like
Guys, gals, get creative.
Yeah.
You don't have to have a stagnant relationship. You can have a wonderful relationship. You just have to be creative with it and get out and remember the things that made you fall in love. That's what it's really all about. It's about love. And this is my little contribution to love and summer romances.
Right, and expanding the universe and everyone's what's the word I'm looking for? But everyone's existence.
Time is a flat circle.
Right. Well, we've really enjoyed the whole process of Rooftop Summer, and we've talked about it quite a bit because it is like the main thing we've got going on right now. But I just want to give a little teaser of the next installment. We're going to talk about other things that are on the radar. And you know what? I think we're just going to go ahead and close right now and get ready for the next episode. You guys have anything in closing you'd like to talk about before we get geared up for the next set of topics?
Stay tuned. Rooftop Summer's coming sooner than you know. So everyone, make sure you do follow us on Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, Twitter, all that. And keep your eyes peeled because it's coming. We'll let you know.
Right. Any final closing remarks, mister?
If anybody has a swimming pool that's open, I'm open to being invited.
Yes,
it's hot outside.
We love swimming, so you guys let us know if you have a swimming pool. We like to
swimming pools and movie stars. Where have I heard that before? Beverly
Beverly
Hillbillies?
Hillbillies.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, until next time, thank you for watching the EDM Film Show and podcast. And until next time, see ya.
Bye.